Hello. Today I wanted to talk a little bit about something that I call looping sleight of hand. This is where you use your looper, maybe with some preset settings, in order to make something happen that seems like a little bit of a magic trick. It's kind of a shortcut to get to some interesting musical events, but it's a really great tool that I like to use a lot. Many looping devices allow you to do this, something that I've heard Nels Cline, Bill Frisell, Henry Kaiser, guys like that do fairly often. For this first example, I'm going to set up the Ableton Live looper to play back twice as fast and in reverse. I'm going to play something as if I were playing a little guitar solo, but also be recording it into the looper. And when I stop recording, it's going to play back twice as fast in reverse. And it's going to sound like, hopefully, like something magical happened. Something like this. I love this technique because it allows you to multitask a little bit, play something that's hopefully interesting on the guitar while you're grabbing it in the looper, and then play it back in a new way, kind of out of nowhere, which to me, in my visual mind, is sort of like having a close-up on somebody in a movie and then pulling back to reveal them in some really interesting space, or there's something there that you didn't realize. It's just one of those cool behind-the-scenes things that you can do to move somewhere else in the music. I think I need a diagram for this next part, but for my next trick, I'm going to show you how changing the speed of the looper while playing into it causes the sound that comes out to jump up and down in octaves. Another fun trick for making something unusual happen in the music. In Ableton Live, I have to create a loop and go into overdub mode in order to do this. But I'm going to play a few notes in, and while I'm playing it, I'm going to be using my pedal to change the speed of the looper. I love this technique because it creates non-guitar movements and textures, kind of glitchy, chopped up, computerized things, or even lines that I wish that I could play on a guitar but just aren't physically possible. Another sleight of hand trick that I use is shifting what effects send the loop is being sent to in order to sort of get out of things. Because with loop-based music, sometimes you find that you're just freaking tired of hearing the same thing happen again and again. So oftentimes too, I'll build up some big, crazy, complicated loop, and then it's like, how do you gracefully exit from that? Or yet another scenario is I make a mistake and end up with something that I don't like in the loop, and I need to figure out how to escape from it. It's kind of like Houdini stuck in a pool full of loop and trying to get out without drowning. I'm going to use the loop that I just made and show you how I can transform that by sending it to different effect sends. Here's the dry loop. Once I've gotten it to there, I can delete the loop or start playing something else, but it's a really convenient way to shift textures and get on to the next thing in a loop-based performance. For my fourth and final trick of the evening, I'm going to show you how I use the feedback control in the Ableton looper in order to slowly fade out of one loop and create something new on top of it. What the feedback control does is it allows you to switch the looper from just repeating infinitely at the same volume to slowly fading out old information while you add new stuff on top, which is a nice way, especially during really long improvisations, to seamlessly shift from one theme to another. So I've got a loop that I've already recorded. You'll hear that for a little bit, and then I'll turn down the feedback and start laying some things on top of it. And hopefully, it just feels like some magic happened. Then if I turn the feedback back up, my new stuff is locked in there and I have a new theme that I can play over. Then when I get tired of this, I can do the same thing. Dial the feedback down and start layering new things on top. This is also really helpful because doing loop-based improvisation means that you're often camping on one key or tonal center for a while, and it can be hard to shift to things that are unrelated to it. But by using the feedback control and sort of slowly fading something out while I'm overlaying new information, I can just sort of go in a new direction. And there might be a minute there where the two tonal centers are clashing a little bit, but it all kind of works out because one disappears and the other one dominates. So in that last piece, I started out in G major and ended up somewhere in the realm of a Phrygian. So those aren't really related, but because of the way it works, it makes it pretty smooth sounding anyways and gives you the option to go somewhere else.